So, energy and your life. How do these two things connect? So my name's Mandy, and I have been an energy worker and a teacher for 20 years now, and I can honestly tell you that it is my absolute passion in life. My purpose work here on earth is to make sure that as many people as I can humanly possibly reach know that they have power and they are completely in control of their own life. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that are like, well, we're not, though, are we? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. The only reason you've lost control of your life is because you've lost control of your energy. Now, I've worked as, I'm going to really be brief on this because there's a lot of things that I do, but I'm a psychic medium, clairvoyant, and an energy healer and teacher. And I have kind of took myself to the top of each energy that I heal. And the reason I've done that is because I love energy and I wanted to make sure that I understood everything about it. Now, the only way you get to truly understand at this level, at this depth, is one of two ways. You either learn it yourself, or you listen to someone else and they teach you. They're the two ways. Now, I am always going to advocate that you allow a teacher to guide you to learn for yourself. I don't think we should listen to anybody as gospel and go, okay, well, that's it then. And that's where my knowledge base comes from. And in my teachings, what I absolutely love to do is to teach you to become your own guidance, teach you to become your own psychic, teach you to become your own healer, because I want you to have your power back. Don't give me your power. Don't give that guy over there your power. Your power belongs to you and you alone. And this is where we've got lost. But you see, this is where we've kind of got a little bit stuck as humans. We give power away to other people. And I am in the business of making sure you regain your power and you learn to understand at a core level that you're fully in control of your own energy. I think I might have gone off a little bit on a tangent there, but I do this. This is what I do. Can't help it. There's that much information I'm trying to get out. But yeah, so basically, so I learned this through my body by channeling it all and by working heavily with my guides and heavily with angels, etc., etc. I'm not going to go too deep into that side because that isn't what this is about. And I absolutely love what I do. I would never change it. I'm not going to lie to you. I have been crippled by energy work, and I'm pretty sure I'll continue to do so over the years. But it's what I'm here to do. I'm here to remind you of who you are. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to remind you of who you are. Now, the first number one thing you need to understand is that you are energy. This here, this solid mass here, this is not who you are. This is not who you are. This is your car. This is your vehicle while you're here on earth. The truth of who you are lies within your auric field. The truth of who you are is you are energy. You are universal energy, source energy, whatever you want to call it. But that's what you are made up of. That is what everything is made up of. Now, the beauty about this is an energy will attract to the frequency that it desires, right? So if you're made up of energy and your energy wants to go to being rich or wants to go to being completely in love with somebody that treats you right, or wants to go to being famous, or wants to go to being an explorer, right? If your particles of energy want that, the only thing that is getting in their way is a heavier, denser, lower vibrational energy. Because this universal energy I speak of, which is what we're all made up of, this is high vibrational energy. Now, if you only had high vibrational energy and you didn't have anything to block you at all, then what would happen is you could easily achieve everything it is that you want to. Your universal energy could just go poof, 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 poof. Here we go. Off I go, right? But we've got all these blocks in the way. And the first block being this. I don't mean our head, I mean our body, right? This is a block to the universal energy because the human body is lower vibrational compared to the auric energy. I say the auric energy because that's where everything's stored. But yeah, so are you following me so far? If you're not, we'll have, I'll do a little catch up at the end. So what stops our universal energy, which is us, from being able to literally just connect, like that, to the frequency which it desires? Well, we do. We stop it. Our thoughts stop it. Our emotions stop it. the situations we get ourselves put into stop it. Now, you've got some people, haven't you, in life that literally, you can see that they just literally flow through life and absolutely nothing gets in their way and nothing stops them. And you wonder, what, oh, they're lucky. Lucky's absolute bull, right? Look, no, they're not lucky. They're aligned. And when you're aligned, you can match the frequency which you desire. When you're unaligned, you're not going to. You're going to match the frequency which you're already aligning yourself to, which is an unalignment. So you're aligning yourself to something which is not in your desired state. Now, this isn't just about manifestation. I know it's sounding very manifesty at the moment. It's not. This is about the whole of life, right? Because I'm not just talking about manifesting millions of pounds here. What I'm talking about is your actual life. Because if you wake up in the morning and you're depressed, and you wake up the next morning and you're depressed, and you wake up the next morning and you're depressed, then you've created a pattern. You've created this pattern within yourself. Now, this is nothing to do with manifesting money or nothing like that. This is how you have turned your energy into a lower vibrational energy. So you're only working on a lower frequency. And my job here is to remind you, hell no, right? No, that is not what you're about. What you're about is you have total power. Now, the key here is to understand yourself. The key here is to start looking at your energy and realising what you're doing with your energy. And whilst at the moment I'm skirting over emotions and all that sort of stuff, you have to go a lot deeper than that, because your energy isn't just about what's happening today. Oh God, what happened yesterday? Your energy goes way, way back. You know, when you was a child, your upbringing, the conditioning that happened in your life. We've all been conditioned, every single one of us. But then, I mean, it does go further because it goes to previous lives, but we're only going to focus on this life at the moment. So you need to go back there. Now, you can't say, oh, God, yeah, when I was a child, my mum used to hit me. Okay, there you go, solved. That is not what it is. You need to go back to that point in time when you was a child and your mum used to hit you. And you need to look, honestly, okay, so what's that done to me? What emotion do I carry from that? What behaviour do I carry from that? That's your first one. What behaviour do I carry? Because mum used to do that to me, what am I carrying now? Am I carrying rejection issues? Do I now fear people rejecting me? Okay, so yeah, do you know what? I think I've decided I fear people rejecting me. Why? Why do I fear that? And you've got to go through it like layers and layers and layers and layers before you get to the absolute core of what it's done to you, the absolute core of that lower vibration which you carry. When you get down to that core, brilliant, because that's when you get to move it. We do some exercises, we do some soul work, and what you do is you drop that. That no longer is a trauma for you. You no longer carry that as baggage. But what you do is you identify it, and you send it on its way, and you accept that, okay, well, it's an experience that happened to me. It is not who I am. It was an experience then, and it doesn't need to mould who I am for the rest of my life. And you learn from it, because that experience was there just as an experience to bring you certain things. It's all about growth, right? But the problem is a lot of people don't grow from these experiences. They bury them deep inside, and they let it create a traumatic response. And then that traumatic response creates blocks and shadows. And then we base the rest of our life on those blocks and shadows. And that's what we need to eliminate, because when we eliminate all these blocks and shadows, which I'm not going to lie to you, it's not an easy job. You've got to go in there. And a lot of people will say, oh, but I'm not ready. I don't want to think about that. Then you're not going to get better. If you don't think about it and you don't get it out there and just whack it on the table and start working through it, then you're not going to raise your vibration. You can clap around, you can meditate, you can do as many things as you want. But if you continue to carry lower vibrational energies, you are not going to raise your vibration. That's the absolute truth of it. Now, I have staggered my raising of my vibration over many years, yeah, and there's been some that's come in and it's smacked me in the face and it's hit hard, and then there's been some which have been softer. This is just how it is, guys. This is how awakening is. If you're ready to awaken and you're ready to learn the real truth about energy and how you can actually live a life, not just, and I'm not externalizing here, by the way. I'm not externalizing, because I'm not saying live a life of money and this and that, because that is not what I'm doing. That's an added bonus. But what I'm saying is live a life of internalizing, right? So when you live a life of internalizing, you are constantly looking at, okay, what growth am I learning from this? What lessons do I need to take from this? How is this working with my vibration? Am I starting to awaken more? And each lesson, each growth strategy, if you like, is going to bring more answers. And all of a sudden, you're aligned. And when you're aligned and when you're awakened properly, yeah, then what happens is, it doesn't matter anymore. None of this matters anymore. You don't care. Yeah, well, I'm going to have a bad day. I'm going to have a bad week. I'm going to have a bad year. I might even have a bad decade. But I understand that it is needed for my growth. I understand that no matter what happens externally, this is what I need. Because you know, when I leave this planet, the only thing that's leaving this planet is my soul, my energy field. Everything else is staying here. So therefore, be aware of the growth and what it is going to bring to you in the long term. So if you feel that this is something for you guys, then you can get yourself booked on one of my bigger courses. We can have a session, we can have a free phone call session, and we can talk about what it is that you need in order for you to grow, what you feel is holding you down, what you feel is your lower vibrations. But only do this, guys, only decide to do this if you're ready for growth, because that's what will happen. You will take care, and you will find my details. Anybody that's watching this on YouTube, you will find my details in the link in order to get in touch.